Hey, Alfonso, this is John with Sheets Digital. My outreach specialist, Mary, called you earlier about doing some website work and design and, basic outreach to see if that was something you'd be interested in. So basically, I'm just going to go over some basics with you of website design and how it actually can give you traffic to your website, resulting in jobs. So, we'll give our email address and phone number at the end of this video. And if you would be interested in pursuing something with us, we'd be glad to help. And we can go in more depth over what your needs would be and whatnot. So, without any further ado, we're going to take a look here at basics of Google and how it brings in business and what it can do for you. So, the top uh, three businesses here that show up along with this map. This is called the Google Map Pack. It's also referred to as the Google My Business selection, but we'll refer to it as the Map Pack for right now. So if we go into this, this is one of the first things that people see when they type in a phrase like Masonry Contractors Atlanta, which, by the way, Mary told me you were looking to do more masonry work than concrete. We can do the same thing that we're doing here with masonry as concrete, but since she said you were wanting to do more masonry work, we can do that too. So again, going back to this is your map pack, and this is the first thing that most people usually see when they type in something into Google. Not always, but more often than not, it is. It grabs the eye, and more often than not, people click on it. So when we take a look at how this is ranked, how these three showed up at the top here, more often than not, it's because of their reviews and how much they are listed in other websites. So, the name, address, phone number, that sort of thing. It appears in different directories like in Yelp, Yellow Pages, that sort of thing. Uh, on top of that, it's the amount of reviews, it's the quality of the reviews, and just so happens to be also the amount of pictures in here and other information associated with your business. So we go back and we have all that in one package. You're going to show up in the top three more than likely. Uh, we are able to do that at quite a quick pace as well. Relatively speaking, of course, Google's algorithm does take a while to break things down. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into more basics. So these next search results are called organic searches, and they are a direct result of typing in this phrase up here. So what we more often than not what we see is these lists first, Angie's List, Home Advisor, that sort of thing. But just so happens that there are other ones here that are showing up first. Um, and that's where we want you, right? So if you were to do a contract, or not a contract with us, if we were to do some work together, this is what we would work at doing, is putting your website here up at the top through a decent amount of work and a lot of hours. So let's take a look here at some of the competition and show you what can be done. So if we take a look at this is a back page right here. If we can see that, it's not a main page. So this just so happens to be ranking above a home page. So home pages more often than not are what show up, not the back pages themselves. So we'll look at Brick Mason Atlanta. The thing that's really important here is that they have good content with keywords, meaning that phrase that we saw in there is somewhere in here, and they're ranking for it because of their backlinks. We'll talk about backlinks in a moment, but as you can see, there's lots of words here, lots of stuff written down, and Google pays attention to that sort of thing, along with the keywords that you want to hide in there to make it realize what you're trying to do. Another big concept that websites use a lot are blogs, and they can help you put together content that Google will find and check out. So again, we see this, all these words. Typically, you want to have 1,500 words, which I would roughly say they could. We could do a word count here, but I'm not going to take your time up. They are showing up at the top, at least in the top 3 or 5. But you want to have 1,500 words on the home page, 500 words on each subsequent page, all with services, all with keywords that have something to do with what you are looking for. So we go back here to the front where we searched for that. And we put this website into our analytic tool here, and we can see what it's doing for them. They literally have 152 people clicking on their websites, showing them what's being brought into their website as far as traffic is concerned. So it's literally 152 people. That's down by 60 last month, that are coming in and clicking on that website just based on their keywords. So when we see this, it's important to note that this is all done through the keywords and their backlinks here. So if we click on their keywords, we'll see here what they're ranking for and how and why. Masonry contractors, Atlanta, GA. There's 20 people searched for that in the last month, and they rank number 2. They're up from number 3. We look at some of the higher volume searches here, just to show you what's out there. Masonry contractors near me. That can be kind of tricky because that's a national key term. It's not specific to Atlanta. But if we look at some of the stuff or some of the keywords here, like Atlanta Brick Company, 300 people searched for that in the past month. And they're only sitting at 24 right now. They're up 11 spots from that. So there used to be 35. They're at 24. If we go down further, we can see maybe something specific to maybe best patios in Atlanta. There's another one that we could potentially put in your website if you were to get one. Masonry company near me. We actually found some good keywords here as well. Atlanta Masonry contractors, 80 people searched for that. Atlanta Masonry, Masonry supply. Again, these are all keywords that could potentially drive traffic to your website. And there's plenty of it, and they're easy to rank for on Google. When we go back to our websites here, we look at the overview of it, and we look at backlinks. So they have 523 backlinks. Now, backlinks are what power those keywords to actually raise in their ranking. So, and I'll explain further. If you put your website on another masonry website that will allow you to do so, whether it be a comment on a post they put up in their website, or a blog that they have that you put a comment on and you put your website in that comment, it'll start powering those keywords to go higher in the ranking system. Now, if you were to do that, say, on a pizza website that has nothing to do with masonry, then you're not going to get much from it. It has to be related. So it's like a giant popularity contest. You add your website to somebody else's website that actually has power, you'll get some of that power as well. And it'll help increase those keywords that you have on your website. So as we can see, the traffic to be had from this, we usually get about 10% of that as actual jobs. So of course, the more traffic you get, the higher percentage of jobs you'll probably get. It could be anywhere from 5 to 15, but usually it sits in the 10% zone. So you can see how beneficial a website actually can be. And everything that we're showing you here is something you can do yourself if you feel you have the time to do it. Otherwise, you can hire us to do it, and we'd love to do it. Everything here we do is upfront, and we do an in-depth analysis of everything and go over things with you to see what you would need and want from us if you were to go any further with it. But it is important to note what it actually can do for you. We'll take another look at a different website. This was ShermanMasonry.com, and I believe they showed up, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were in the 6th position. So we take a look at their numbers, easily beaten. That when we see this 0.1 domain rating right here, this shows that most of their backlinks have nothing to do with masonry. So we could easily get you in the top 7, top 6, top 5 just by beating them out on some of their keywords easily. So again, exciting, and it seems like there's a lot of movement here. If you want to talk a little bit more, I'd be happy to go over things in more detail. My office number is 937-507-6596, and my office email is sheets, SHEETS, digital, DIGITAL, at gmail.com. If you'd like to speak further with this, I would love to hear your thoughts, see what you're interested in, and be happy to talk a little bit more. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you, and bye bye.